Okay. Samuel.
Hi, Ruben. I saw that you said on TV that you thought the players were thinking too much, but the way they performed, did you expect them to perform better, or was that kind of what you expected?
It's hard to expect anything now. It's like it's not a surprise, but you have to see it in game. So that's why I was a little bit anxious, because you cannot understand what will happen in the game. I felt that they were trying, they were thinking too much during the game, and that is normal. We start very well, but then we should have more possession with the ball, kept more the ball, and sometimes we had the ball in the defense, and the rest of the guys were too stuck because they were thinking where I should be. So this is the first point. When we make a new structure, and you are so clear on that, they need time to have some fluidity in the game. So I felt that, but it's through trainings, and they did okay.
Ruben, how do you address that? Because you've got a game on Thursday, then you have another game, and there's no midweeks where you don't have matches. So how do you address that?
We have to find a way. I think the only way to do it is that we have games, and the guys that don't play have trainings. Everybody is going to play, and everybody is going to be on the bench, so they have the feeling of the game, but they need to train. With this schedule, we need to rotate the team. So we'll try to use that to train, to improve the team and to win matches. So that's the point. Without time, we have to find the time, and I think this is the only way. Some of the guys is going to play. Some of the guys in the next day will work on our idea, and then they will change the position.
Dave.
What was the biggest thing for you that you learned about your players today, and what would be your message to the fans who maybe feel frustrated that you didn't capitalise on the early goal and go on to win the game?
What I understood today is that they are trying. They are really trying. They stay in the positions, they receive the information, and they try to use it in the game. That is very important. Even in the difficult moments, I felt that they were doing the things that we said for them to do. I know it's frustrating for the fans, but we are changing so much in this moment with a lot of games. We are going to suffer for a long period, and we will try to win games. This will take time, but I know we have to win games. We could win, we could lose if it was not Onana. So we have to understand that and think and be pragmatical that these guys had 2 days to train and to change so much. Yeah, I think it's so clear for everybody. It saved us 2 times at least. And then one important thing in that he used to do so long balls, and he tried to connect with the players, and that was very good for me. I think he understood the idea. He did a great job.
Oh.
Ruben, obviously you would have wanted to start with a win, but what did you make of the whole kind of experience, your first taste of English football, the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere, you are lucky, guys. You have the best, by far, the best league in the world, and you see this every weekend. But to tell you the truth, when the game starts, it's the same thing since the third division for here. I'm so focused on the game, and so I'm playing with my players inside the pitch. So you are lucky, guys. We have the best league in the world.
Laurie.
You made some changes that I think people might not have expected in terms of Ahmad playing back wing back and Roy playing centre back, and then you were changing it throughout the game as well with substitutions and personnel. Are you finding out about your players, what they're capable of, and what positions they might actually be able to do in this process?
Yeah, of course. You have to do it. Everybody knows that we have a problem now with the central backs, but they are 3 defenders, 2 wingers, 2 midfielders, 2 number 10s, and 1 striker. But you change, if you play Bruno Fernandes in the same position of Garnacho, it's a game completely different. And when we want, listen to you guys, a lot of Manchester United doesn't have a structure. We will have this situation of, you see a structure and you will say that, but it's not fluid. This is like steps. we have to put in these heads the structure. When they start thinking about the structure, they will play so much better. But we need time to do that. And during this time, we have to manage to win games, and that is very important, and I know that.
James.
Ruben, Laurie's just mentioned Ahmad there, obviously a more unfamiliar position for him as a right wing back, but there were lots of good things from him. What did you think of his performance?
I think he was very good. He improves a lot. He improved since these 3 days. He improved so much defensively. But for him, you have to the opponent that he had all the time was the left back. So it's like a winger that follows the left back. So it's so much easier, I think, because he doesn't have to think, can I jump in the central back or no? You just follow one guy and go forward with the same guy. It's like a game man to man in that area. But I think he was so focused on everything. I think he did a great job.
Quality for the goal. More quality for the goal.
Yeah, all the team. But they are top players. You just put in the positions and then they do like 1-2, run with the ball, and then the good movement from Ash. And I think Garner was there also to score. Dalot was in the position, so the position was there. We managed to score. I know after that goal, with the confidence, we have to have more ball, and we could do it.
Last question, Mark.
You speak about the players thinking too much. Is that a confidence issue because of the way the season's gone, because of the defeats, because of the change?
No, it's different things. They are thinking too much because things are so different. Some details that they used to pass the ball and go forward. Even the central backs now they have to go back. These type of things they start going forward and they have to think too much. Dalot used to do it, pass the ball to central backs, go inside, play as a midfielder. Now he has to stick in this position. So it's hard for the players in 3 days to try to cope with everything. But we have 2 ways, or we forget about the new idea, and I think that's why I was here. I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things that I used to do it, and next year in the same stage we'll be here with the same problems. Or we start now, we risk a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and in the next year we will be better at this point. So we have to risk it a little bit, and they are thinking too much because we are changing too much with 2 trainings without space to improve in training.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for waiting, everybody.
Hi guys.
If you just let me know when you want to ask a question, I will come to you. Thank you. Dharmesh, you can get us underway.
Hi.
Did you come away from that game almost a little bit disappointed that you actually haven't won it?
I think we certainly could have won it, so you could look at it that way. It depends on your perspective. I think we were certainly the better team in the first half overall, and I thought as the first half went on, we really grew in ascendancy and went into half-time in real dominance. But the second half, Man United had some good periods of control as well, and we had to defend on shape and show good discipline, although we still had a couple of big chances to win it. So, yeah, we certainly could have won it, but I think when you concede an early goal to Man United with the motivation that they were playing with today, the game could also get away from you in another direction. So the main positive is it didn't, and we were more than competitive through the game, and everyone represented themselves very well.
Stand front.
Ruben Amorim made 2 brilliant saves, and even Ruben Amorim said without him, Manchester United couldn't have watched. I mean, they're the key moments of the game.
Yeah, I thought his save from Liam was incredible. Being told he saved, I thought it his head, to be honest. But if he saved that from that range, it's an incredible save. The save in the second half was probably a big one. I've not seen it back, but that was maybe the clearest chance in the second half. So that's a really good save, and he's a good goalkeeper. So yeah, I think we probably had the better chances in the game. But it was an even, game in other parts, and it was a competitive game. So we certainly felt like we could have won it. But there's big positives in how we played.
Just in the second row.
Hi. What did you make of going up against Ruben? It felt like quite a tactical game, lots of changes throughout the game.
Yeah, it was a good competitive game. It was a challenge for us going into it in terms of preparation, to be fair, and there's certain things that you could predict, but certain things not, especially after an international break, not being sure with injuries. So yeah, that side of it made it a challenge. I think that was a challenge of the start of the game, to be honest, because you weren't sure going into the game what the position would be. Of course, you get the lineup, but you don't know, will Diallo play a wing back, will Garnacho play a wing back? It wasn't easy to be certain. So there was probably a few times in the first 5-10 minutes where we were not caught out, but where it was hard to be certain about the position of the opposition, and it took us a little while to get on top of that. But I thought after probably the first 10 minutes of the first half, we'd done exactly that, and we started to get on top of it, and the intensity of our pressure and the speed of some of the combination players really took control of the game. So yeah, it was a good challenge in terms of the quality of the opposition players. They made changes in the second half, got good players coming on. They got more control than what we would have liked really in the second half, but at the same time we showed a good level of maturity and resilience in our defending in that phase, and it made it a really well contested game.
Stuart, down the front.
In terms of the bigger picture, back in the drop zone after Wolves win yesterday, but that's 7 results from your 12 Premier League games now, Kieran. You feel like your team has been competitive pretty much throughout this season? Is today another show to everyone that you're here not to make up the numbers?
Yeah, I think we've shown that for the large majority of the season, but I think it's pretty clear that we're making progress. I think you can see it in individual players and their improvement in their performances. You can see players really settling into the team who've come here. You can see, we can't forget the journey for a Cameron Burgess or Wes Burns today of where they've come to, and now they're both competing really well in that game. So individuals are improving. I think as a team we're developing. I think we looked at pre the Tottenham game, we made some comparisons internally with the Man City game before the game and posed that to the players to say that we went to Man City's second game. We did some things well, but in the end we weren't able to manage the game against a top team, and it ran away from us, and we did that much better last weekend. And I think you can draw some comparisons today with the Liverpool game, to be fair, and we did that before the game and said, look, we got to show now 11 games since we played Liverpool, a lot of the same ingredients as we did against Liverpool: intensity of our pressure, bravery on and off the ball. But we have to find a little bit more, both in terms of being clinical to go and score a goal, and also in our game management and maturity. And I think if you look at the second half today compared to the second half at Liverpool, when Liverpool got on the ascendancy in the last 30 minutes of that game, they ran away from us really and cut through us. Today, whenever the game got away from us a little bit in the second half, where we lost the domination that we had in the first half, I thought it was a really mature second half, because we stuck together, we defended on shape, everyone stuck to the jobs, didn't give away many big chances, and then you give yourself a chance to win the game. And even taking Liam's out of it, Connor had the good chance in a cutback at the end that maybe you can then go and win the game. So even in a microcosm, I think you take those two games from the first two games, Liverpool, Man City, and you take Tottenham and United today, and you can see some progress there. So yeah, we feel it, but we have to keep it going. It's the position that we're in when you draw a game. And if you continue with that next week, then you show momentum. But if you don't, and you don't show it, then you lose momentum, you lose the game, and then you've not won in 2 games. So that's the reality of where we're in. We feel that we're progressing, but we have to keep going.
Thank you.
Amorim, last couple of weeks and last couple of games, he's really fairly speaking in the Premier League, and the Golden Dames, I know it took a flick or so, but still a fantastic strike.
Yeah, he's doing well. I think he showed it in early parts of the season as well. Maybe had a little, all the players are going to have a little dip for 1 or 2 games, but I think he's, people were probably saying that after the Villa game, after the Southampton game, what an impact he's having in the Premier League after the Liverpool game even. So, you know, he's shown good stuff from the start of the season, but again, he's starting to understand it a little bit more. It's his second season of senior football. It's his first season of starting, and it's his first season being in a team who are going to be in the bottom third of the league, all likely. So there's a lot of things there to understand, let alone the, of course, increased level of the challenge with the teams and the players he's playing against. So he's maturing well. Yeah, he showed all the qualities we want from him in number 10 today, to be honest. We feel like when teams come and press us high and open up the middle of the pitch, having a dribbler like Omari in there is really, really hard to handle, and I think that really unlocked the first half for us, really. They were trying to step on and press him from centre half, and he couldn't quite get to grips with him, and he was dribbling through the pitch time and again. And, yeah, he gave a good performance, and like many of the players, I think he's improving. Ben was injured, so yeah, he missed out. Little injury that he had over the international break. Hopefully not. Well, nothing too serious for Nottingham Forest. We don't know.
George.
Kieran, you've got 10 points on Villa and United here, and as harsh as it sounds, is the next step for this team. You've actually got to start winning games here. That's the kind of next step.
Yeah, we're going to have to win some home games for sure. So I think you've described it pretty well. I think a pretty good step is being hard to beat, being competitive, making this a really difficult place to come, imposing ourselves on the opposition. But we also need to win some home games over the course of the season, and that's what we're trying to do. But I think, look, we've had 4 draws here. I think we could have won all 4. Par score, we should have won one that for me isn't debatable in the Leicester game, and you take out the other 3 draws, par score is probably winning at least one if things fall your way. So yeah, we don't feel like we're far away, but it is another step. You know, being competitive, being hard to beat, not losing many games, that's a step. Winning your first game is a step, and then winning regularly, more regularly than what we are is another step that we still have to try and make.
Are we all good? Everyone happy? Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, yes. Thanks.
Right, boss.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, guys. Cheers.